Welcome to World Class, the series that brings you the finest of luxury hotels in some of the greatest destinations our planet has to offer. This program is no exception as we visit one of the most exciting cities in the world, Rio, in Brazil. Join us as we take a cable car up the famous Sugarloaf mountain, visit the fun-filled beaches of Ipanema and Copacabana, and stay in luxury in a purpose-built palace of the same name. Those of you who like a thrill with your sightseeing are in for a real treat as we fly over 1,000 kilometers south to take a powerboat trip upriver and head straight for the powerful Iguassu Falls on the border of Argentina. We start this luxury extravaganza in Rio, home of the carnival, bossa nova, and samba. It's a wonderful city to behold, especially when viewed from the many vantage points that include the mountain Corcovado, and here at the Sugarloaf, made famous by James Bond in the late 70s when he fought Jaws atop a cable car. The view is amazing, even on cloudy days, as distant landscapes appear and disappear through the eerie mist. This is a tropical climate with ever-changing weather, so quite often a little patience pays off when waiting for that perfect picture. Back at sea level and the historic Old Town in downtown is a delight to explore. Here you can feel the city's roots in its architecture. It was the Portuguese who named the city Rio de Janeiro, following an expedition in January 1502 when they mistakenly believed they had moored in a river mouth. Hence, the city's name is a direct translation of January River. Downtown, known locally as Centro, is the former residence of the Portuguese governors of Brazil. Today, it's the financial hub of the city, so it's busy and bustling, yet retains an old-world charm. One little gem to visit is the Confeitaria Colombo, a pastry emporium established in 1894. Its palatial decor makes it the perfect place for lunch and high tea. The word beach is synonymous with Rio. On weekends, the locals, or cariocas, flock to the beach in thousands. This is Ipanema, a magnet for young and old, wealthy and poor. Here, the cariocas, when wearing beachwear, seem to forget all classes, politics, and religions. It's a brilliant culture of fun and sun that's a joy to observe. A block from the beach is another cafe well worth a visit. Agorata de Ipanema, or the Girl from Ipanema, is where Vinicius de Moraes and Tom Jobim wrote that classic song after watching a pretty girl pass by daily on her way to the beach. If you haven't heard of Ipanema, you will certainly have heard of the Copa or Copacabana, the most famous district of Rio. And in true world-class style, we have checked in to a palace of the same name. Designed by the French architect Joseph Gire, who was inspired by two hotels in southern France, the Negresco in Nice and this iconic hotel, the Carlton in Cannes. Gire was a great fan of Charles Dalmat, who built the Carlton in true palatial style in 1912. So when the Copacabana Palace opened its doors just 10 years later in 1923, he had created a stucco-fashioned edifice that the people of Rio were proud of.
The hotel's always had a very, very strong identity with Copacabana as a whole, and also a very, very strong identity with Brazilian society, because it was the venue for so many important events, social events, wedding receptions, and so on and so forth. It figures, very much in the minds of Brazilians as being a very, very Brazilian hotel.
This elegant property represents a classic marriage of Latin and European styles, but it's the friendliness, sophistication, and service of its staff that ensures its status as one of the greatest hotels in the world.
Of course, you know, the service and of course the celebrities, of course, are part of the hotel's history. It's a hotel that was built to be a palace. It was built to be a remarkable hotel. It was from its early days, that was the whole intention. And so the building itself, and of course its distinctiveness in terms of its architecture, it's a very, very strong physical presence. The building is immediately recognized by Cariocas as being one of the few buildings which are really remarkable and a very, very strong physical presence.
This landmark hotel draws in the rich and famous, like Ipanema draws Cariocas to the beach. A cluster of fans like these, awaiting a glimpse of R&B singer Mariah Carey, is a regular occasion to behold. The kitchen plays a role in the success of every hotel. The Cipriani restaurant is no exception.
Il successo del ristorante è venuto con fare dei piatti semplici, sopravvalendo il prodotto, facendo esaltare il prodotto nei piatti, non coprendoli con molte salse, che è tipico della cucina veneziana e della cucina mediterranea. Quindi usando erbe, e il primo attore nel piatto era proprio l'ingrediente principale.
Rio has seen troubled times in the past, but the hotel's guests just keep coming back, sending a clear endorsement to the management and its staff.
My proudest moment is probably having guests tell us, as they do time and time again, that they are, yes, very impressed by the installations, very impressed by the comfort of the hotel, but what really most impresses them is the service and the people who deliver that service. And that is when I really feel that I've done a reasonable job, because it's the staff, it's our team that really provides the icing on the cake to the Copacabana experience.
It's not just fine dining with hushed conversations and a distant piano. This is the new Bar de Copa, the #1 spot in town. And now, for a different type of wildlife. Goodbye Rio, hello Iguassu. We have flown south to the border of Brazil and Argentina in search of adventure, world-class style. This national park alone boasts some 66,000 hectares of subtropical rainforest and offers nature treks for wildlife seekers by jeep, horseback, and on foot. There are more than 400 species of birds here, which is very impressive. But it's the raging rivers and torrents of the waterfalls that most people come to visit, and they do so in as many ways as possible. By helicopter, by abseiling, and by very powerful speedboats. These 300 horsepower ribs are the perfect tool for getting up close and personal to one of Mother Nature's biggest power plants. The eyeball-shaking, knuckle-biting ride is not for the faint-hearted, nor for those with a fear of water. These brave souls on board are speeding towards 400,000 gallons of water per second, thundering down a drop of 269 feet. Whew, it seems that the captain has decided that this view is close enough. But hey, that wouldn't be any fun. So it's throttles on and in for the shower of a lifetime. Hold your breath. At 5,249 feet, Victoria Falls in South Africa takes the record for the largest single curtain of water. But here at Iguassu, there are 275 falls across a distance of 1.6 miles, making them the widest waterfalls in the world. Daily, 1.3 million square feet of water pour endlessly, creating a constant roar that can be heard for miles. But that's enough demographics. Let's take to the air and check out where the world-class team has chosen to stay. Is it possible to find a luxury hotel in a subtropical rainforest? You're looking down at the Hotel das Cataratas, an oasis of luxury that's perched within 400 feet of the best view of the falls. Built in colonial style, the hotel has just been completely renovated and has the most spectacular views from its rooms. It's the only hotel within the national park, allowing guests to enjoy exclusive access to the falls each morning before the park opens at 9 a.m. and after 5 p.m. The general manager, Celso Valle, knows this is a unique position to be in, quite literally.
It's a privilege to be here in front of the falls. We have by now 9 times the regular volume of the water. It's something very, very special. We are talking about 10,000 cubic meters per second. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. From your room, you can take a nap at afternoon or sleep at night, just listen to the roar. It's something really, really special.
The noise of the falls is somehow comforting, never stopping, always there. It's humbling and puts the world back into perspective. How small we humans are against the relentless power of Mother Nature.
Falls are lovely. It has some very, very power energy. It's like recharging your batteries. This river, Iguassu River, it's right in the border of Brazil and Argentina. It goes all the way down about 15 or 16 kilometers to meet the Paraná River in the Brazilian and Paraguayan border. This area here, especially here, if we could cross the river, it would be about 500 yards away from Argentina. So you can easily see the other country from here. Most of the falls are in Argentinian side, but the only way to see it is from Brazil. So this is, I have no doubt, this is the best.
The name Iguassu originates from the Guarani language and means big water, which is something of an understatement. When viewed from the air, big just doesn't come into the equation. From here, it's simply awesome. There are 19 big waterfalls, the biggest of which is the Devil's Throat, which measures over 90 meters high and generates a rainbow from its plume that can be seen by day and even by night under a full moon. The hotel is the perfect base to explore this region. It's hard to believe that such sanctuary could be created in an environment that could so easily be hostile. Inside, the rooms have been decorated in Portuguese style and feature paintings of local flora and fauna by the well-known Brazilian artist Ludmila de Montes. With a myriad of thrill-seeking activities to try in the park, this is a real chill zone.
People love the experience of being here. It's just, it looks like paradise. You have a chance to see a lot of different animals.
Like this odd-looking fella, an Azaras aguti, a small relative of the capybara.
We have several kinds of birds, different species here. It's about 300 or so. Also for butterflies, you have the puma, the jaguar, deers, lizards.
Better make that lizards of all sizes. But the guys who really steal the show in the gardens are these incredible birds. At first glance, from behind, this could be any blackbird or crow, but wait for that profile shot. Now you get the picture. With large, boldly colored bills that give them a distinctly out-of-balance appearance, these are, of course, toucans. It's almost a marvel they can fly, but actually, and thankfully for these comical birds, their bills are much lighter in weight than they appear, because the inside is mostly hollow. Toucans get their name from tucano, given to them by the Tupi Indians of Brazil, and there are around 42 different species of them. While out and about, you will easily spot 2 or 3 varieties in the trees of Iguassu. But if you prefer cheating with your bird spotting, then help is at hand in the Parque das Aves, where you get to see some amazing tropical birds up close. Here, roseate spoonbills waddle with scarlet ibis, while macaws watch with interest. But once again, stealing the show are our friends, the toucans. Is that close enough for you?
They are very funny, they are very curious, they used to be very near people, and because they are interested in colors, and if you have a ring or if you have something in your hair, they're always looking and they're always near people to see what happened and what they're doing. Especially when you have a camera to take pictures, there's always some metal and that shines and they want to see what happened.
This fella is the toko toucan, the largest and arguably the best-known species in the toucan family. Inside his bill, his tongue is almost as long and totally flat. He appears to have big blue eyes, but actually, look closer. It's just a thin line of blue skin. How about that? Mother Nature's own eyeliner. Talking of nature, it's a jungle out there, and one to be explored. Let's move away from cages and aviaries and discover the secrets that hide under the canopy of this lush environment.
We are in a subtropical rainforest. We have 185,000 hectares of this forest. It's one of the last remainder of subtropical rainforest that we have in the world. The subtropical rainforest, here for example, the canopy is not so dense, so thick like in Amazon one. So what happened is the light can pass through the canopy and touch the soil. So that's why we have a different strata of vegetation here. We used to say it's so much easier you walk through Amazon jungle than here, because there the canopy is really, really thick. It's like a carpet, yes, and so it's really hard for the light to pass through it. But here not, here is totally different. Here, for example, is one of the last habitat for animals like pumas, jaguars, ocelots, for example, margai cat. So we have here more than 85 different kinds of mammals.
Now, who's that hanging around?
This is the capuchin monkey. We have 2 species of monkey in the park. We have the capuchin and the howler monkey, but this one is really hard to see. They live in groups, like 20 to 30 of them. We have a leader, and they spend 70% of their life in the trees. They are one of the most intelligent monkey in America because they can take stones to break nuts, and also they can take like a branch to get in honey. So they're really clever.
Their name, Capuchin, derives from a group of friars named the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin, who wore brown robes with large hoods covering their heads, So the explorers who first discovered this monkey thought they looked like, well, monks. Uh-oh, surely that is one leap too far.
Let's try. I saw many times they jumped, but I never saw like this. They're amazing.
Well, thankfully, the little fellow made it and lives to tell his tale of human spotting another day. Which brings us neatly to the close of another day in paradise. Torches are lit. And the barbecue, known as churrasco, a big tradition in Brazil, is well underway. In the Twilight Gardens, the setting sun is masked behind the hotel, but a fiery golden glaze seen through the windows gives a clue that Mother Nature is working a new wonder across the mighty falls, who just never stop roaring. Incredible, awesome, or just big water. Let's just settle for Iguassu for now. Sadly, that's all we have time for. So, it's goodbye from Brazil, from the world-class team.